guys, welcome back to my channel. You know, it's finally here, the new Pokemon Snap. I have waited 22 long years from the original that I played back on the N64 for this day, for this new sequel. And I have to admit, to start off, it has not disappointed me. This I thought would be a first impressions of the Pokemon Snap. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm about 7 hours in, and I've gotten quite far into the game. And I don't know how much more I have because I try to keep away from as much spoilers as possible. And I'll do the same for you guys. But so far, I can say it's been quite fun. I've really enjoyed my time in the Lental region. Now, for those of you that do not know, Pokemon Snap, and especially the new Pokemon Snap, is a type of rail shooter. Unlike back in the arcades where you were, gunning down tanks or airplanes or people, instead of that, you're taking pictures of Pokemon in their natural habitat. And with those pictures, you go back to a professor, in this case Professor Mirror, and he rates your photos, and you get a score based on how well your photos are and what type of behaviors the Pokemon are exhibiting in those photos determine, the ranking and how much score you get on those photos. So it's quite fun in that sense. As well as you progress through the game, you unlock different regions or biomes as you go through, and you get access to new Pokemon that are located within that region. So pretty much that's the game, right? You're just collecting photos of Pokemon, filling out a photo dex for the new one here, and just sort of enjoying the game. It's a very relaxing game. I often liken it to the Animal Crossing type game where it's very calm, relaxing, and something that I think is needed right around now. And it's actually very funny that this came out around the same time that Animal Crossing did for the Switch. And I remember a year ago, around this time, Ontario was in a lockdown. We still are in another lockdown now. And I remember when Animal Crossing came out for the Switch, how it just took away a lot of my problems, took my mind off of things. This has too, because we're again in that lockdown. And it is very helpful to play a game that's relaxing, takes your mind off of all the troubles out there, and quite fun. Now, who is this game for? That's a big question. Right off the bat, anybody who was a fan of the original, for the nostalgia factor, you got it here. It is the original Pokemon Snap on steroids. So if you used to enjoy that, you're going to enjoy this as well. And so it plays heavily into that as sort of nostalgia factor. I think that does well for that. Anybody who's a Pokemon fan, you're totally going to be into this. There are, I don't know how many Pokemon are in the game, but there's a decent chunk of Pokemon in the game. I think they were saying over 200 or something like that. Pokemon in the game. And I think that's amazing. So if you're a fan of Pokemon, you're going to love it. And more importantly, it's Pokemon from all the 8 generations. So that's so many Pokemon they could have picked from. I thought so far, from what I've seen, they've done a pretty good job of it. So people who are fans of Pokemon, if you played the original, you'd like it. People who like sort of that more relaxing walking type simulator type thing are going to like this. Possibly people who are like photography based games are going to like this as well. I personally thought it was fantastic, both as a fan of Pokemon and as a fan of the original Pokemon Snap. I think it was very, very good. One of the things I like the most about this, that is, I kind of should have expected it. I was a little nervous about this aspect in the beginning, but I should have known it would be fine. And that is the Pokemon models. In this game, the sprites, or the Pokemon models themselves, are fantastic. They are the best I've ever seen. The animations are fantastic. The way they look is fantastic. The graphics are fantastic for this. And I think going forward, the Pokemon Company needs to use these Pokemon models that are in this game because they are the best I've ever seen. I love them. And especially with that new Arceus, Pokemon Arceus coming out, they need to almost do this type of modeling because it is fantastic. Besides the modeling, I thought the gameplay is quite fun, right? As I said, it's an on-rail shooter. You have access to go around 360 to go take pictures. They can't leave the designated track, obviously. That's why it's an on-rail shooter, if you will. And you unlock, as you go through the game, as I've mentioned before, you unlock different areas. Unlike the Pokemon Snap, and something that they've borrowed and has maintained heavily in the Pokemon main series, is this night and day, where you see certain Pokemon come out at certain times. That mechanic is also in Pokemon Snap. So you'll go into like for example, a beach, and it'll be the daytime. You'll go through and you'll see certain Pokemon at the day. But then at night, you have access to the night expedition or safari, and you see different Pokemon, or the Pokemon that you've seen in the day are behaving differently. Like they might be sleeping, or they might be doing some unusual behavior that you can take a photo of and get more points. The other thing about it, which I think is super cool, is that as you progress in an area, you as the character get levels in that area. So for example, during the beach during the day, you will get a level, like level 1, level 2, level 3 as you go up and take more and more pictures. As you increase in the levels, the Pokemon become more friendlier to you because they realize, oh, you're not here to harm us, you're not here to catch us or anything. You're here to just film us. And so they trust you more. And you can see new Pokemon, new behaviors as you do that. So there's a cool progression that I actually like, and as a biologist, is something that you learn in animal ethology courses. So it's quite nice to see that here. The others, I like the region. It's pretty cool. I like the professor. Kind of looks like me, as my wife pointed out, which I thought was pretty funny. But that was fantastic. The day and night cycle is fantastic. They have many more regions and areas than the original did, right? Which is super nice. I like the story. Obviously, there's a minor story there, and I obviously haven't finished it yet, but there's some mystery and story there, just like there was in the original Pokemon Snap. But you're really not playing the game for the story. You're playing it for the aspect of catching Pokemon and observing them in their habitat. So there's a lot of good stuff here, and I really liked it. Another thing too, voice acting. Something that Pokemon fans have asked for quite a while now is having the professors or characters within the game actually talk or have voice acting. And there is some voice acting in the new Pokemon Snap. I wish there was more. It was sort of like Nintendo wasn't sure what to do here. Give you just a little bit and see how it goes. I think they did a good job. I liked having the voice acting here, and they should do full voice acting in the future. So I like that. The other thing I really like about this as well is because we're in the age of 2021, you got to have all that social media aspect. And they've incorporated that in here where you can once you take a photo of a Pokemon out in the game, you can then alter it and put like different hats and glasses and, change the photo with a thing called Resnap. And it's absolutely fantastic and a lot of fun. I've been uploading stuff because it's a lot of fun and I enjoy it. Some drawbacks of the game. I have noticed frame rate issues. Right, we all know the Nintendo Switch isn't the most powerful console out there, but it's pretty good. And there have been times with certain Pokemon where you'll see frame rate drops, and it's sometimes quite noticeable with certain Pokemon when they're doing certain actions and that. And that's okay. It's not happening a lot yet. I've come across it enough to notice, but it's not like all the time. So that can break immersion. And the other aspect is that at times it can be tedious, going back and replaying things and keep trying to go through the same tracks. Yes, Pokemon's behavior changes, and that's the nice thing to keep the replay value as you go through these stages to unlock more and more levels and better scores. There is a little sometimes monotonous there at times, not all the time, but it is there. And another aspect that I think that's important is there's a couple of times where you're not too sure what exactly you're doing. What's the objective and what do I do to progress to the next level? If you ever get to that point, it's just pretty much just go back and replay levels and take better pictures, and eventually things unlock through that alone. But that's not right away told to you. So you kind of just have to just play and figure that out as you go. I've looked on various sites when this first came out on April 30th of 2021. In terms of any of the reviews out there done by professional reviewers from whether it's game magazines or people who are in the industry, they've given it pretty favorable reviews. I was surprised, especially on Metacritic, for example, at the time when I looked at it. May 1st is when I looked at it. There was a lot of bad user scores, and there was a lot of zeros, and I thought that was interesting. And so I like to read through those type of things to see what people are talking about. And some people, you could clearly tell, some people thought this was a main series entry, even on Reddit and things, other places that I was looking. People thought it was a main series title. Oh, it's not as good as the main series. Well, of course not. It's a completely different type of game than the main series. It's a spin-off. And I think people need to understand that. The other criticism was, that I've seen a lot, was, well, they didn't have all the Pokemon. You know, there's, 900 whatever Pokemon out there. They don't have them all. Like, that's garbage. They should have that, you know. And I heard what was it, Dexit or whatever it was, with Pokemon Sword and Shield, where they didn't have all the Pokemon. People were upset. Well, let me tell you something. The original didn't have all the Pokemon either. And there's only 151 at the time. Right? This isn't a main series game. And you're only getting a select amount of Pokemon that you're going to be taking pictures of. For what they do have, they're fantastic. And that's because of the character models. Are absolutely fantastic and do a really good job here for what they do have. And as I said before, I'm not surprised after knowing that Bandai Namco was the ones who helped make this game. One of the games that come to mind is the Digimon Cyber Sleuth. If any of you have ever played those series, they're also done by Bandai Namco. And the Digimon models are fantastic. So once I knew that was coming, I was a little nervous because you never know with Pokemon, and sometimes they do some weird stuff. But the Pokemon models are just as good as those Digimon models were in those games. So I'm glad to see that. Another issue that people had, of course, is the length. I haven't finished the game yet, so maybe I'm nearing the end. but from my understanding, it's been quite fun. I've enjoyed it. What's another one that people were complaining? Some people were upset about the graphics and the frame rate issues. You know what? Like, that's the way it is. I mean, there are so many issues. Look at Cyberpunk. I mean, all kinds of video games nowadays have this. For what it is, it's not that bad. The graphics, personally, I think are fantastic. My wife thinks it's absolutely fantastic because she loves this game. I actually, the frame rate issues that happen once in a while, that's okay. It happens. I wish it didn't, but it does happen, and it's a good thing to point out. But you don't give them a 0 for that. There have been more games out there that deserve a 0 than this game. So that was something. But a good criticism that I didn't quite think about, and I want to share with you guys, is they were saying, to bring it up to sort of the 2020s. Back in the late 90s, what we got here was acceptable. It was a first of its kind. Today, people expect more, and I can see that, and they've done a decent job at trying to give people that. But the one criticism or suggestion that one person put out was, you should have been able to sort of roam yourself and not be in sort of that rover that you're in. You should be actually allowed to just wander around, climb a tree, go up a hill, sneak up in the blade of grass, and take a picture of Pokemon. Something akin to what they're sort of doing with Pokemon Arceus. The Legends of Arceus, whatever the proper title of that is. How it looks like you're just open world type aspect, they said should be here. And I agreed with that, but that's a cool idea. And I think in the future, I hope if they make another one, which I hope they do something like that. Because that would be so cool. And actually, have more of that connection with the land and the Pokemon. It does a decent job here, but I think that'd be the next level. Keep all the things that are good here and add that. I think it'd be a phenomenal thing to do. So it was a good addition that they added there. I didn't agree with their score. They gave them a 0 for that. Again, I thought that was interesting. And some people hated that it was a rail shooter, but that's what it always has been. So I found that quite interesting. But overall, I think it's a really good game. And do I think you should pick it up and give it a try? Absolutely. If you were a fan of the original, you definitely owe it to yourself to give it a try. If you're a fan of Pokemon, give it a try. I mean, there are Pokemon in here that I just love. I'm like, Blossom, for example. I love Blossom. 2 Blossoms dancing on a beach. Come on, this is so much fun. And I was so happy and excited to see that. So I think there's some good stuff here. I think I'm actually loving the game. I'm looking forward to finishing it, and just loving going through this world and these different biomes. I think it's great. My wife, as I said, she loves it. I got her into Pokemon years ago. She absolutely is addicted. Actually, right now she's playing on the couch as I'm filming. It's amazing. This game is amazing. My eldest daughter, as I've told before on this channel, really likes Pokemon. She's loving this game as well. So I think it's a good game, a good title. Even if you haven't played the original, you owe it to at least try it. I think it's good enough to try. And you never know, right? Especially, if you're stressed out, you want something that's not a lot of thinking involved, kind of more relaxing. Give this game a try. I think you might like it. For my own personal rating, I definitely give this an A. It's an excellent game. I've really enjoyed it. That's slightly biased because of nostalgia. I like Pokemon, so there's some biases there. But, I do acknowledge that there are some issues, of course, with it that they need to iron out a little bit for next time. But overall, it's a pretty good game. Pretty solid game. So with that, guys, I hope you're all doing well. Please share your thoughts down in the comments below. Did you get Pokemon Snap, the new Pokemon Snap? Did you like the original Pokemon Snap? And leave your thoughts and comments down below. Take care, guys. I hope you all are doing well. Bye-bye for now.